There we go.
Trekcast. The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
My second favorite theme song. My second favorite.
What's your first one?
Favorite?
It's been a long road.
Oh, nice. Nice.
We should do some sort of mashup with that and just throw it in there at some point to surprise people and play all 3 minutes of it.
That makes me wonder, because I discovered this about myself. I really realized it this week. Do you guys automatically skip intros on streaming? Anything?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on what it is. Sometimes, if I'm watching 6 episodes of something, the first time I'll watch the intro. And then the other times, I'll go past them.
Yep.
Except Deep Space Nine. Because I have to be in awe of the pylons.
That's right, as you do.
For 3 minutes.
I just show them more pylons for a while, as Ransom said.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Exactly.
No, I agree. That's one I don't skip either.
Prodigy this week.
Yeah.
I immediately just skipped intro without even thinking about it.
Did you?
Which one?
It wasn't until after a Prodigy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right, so we're a day away from Halloween. Dan already has his uniform on. Amazing. He's ready to go.
I'm not wearing a costume. I'm just going to work.
It's just a uniform. Yeah, he's in the shuttlecraft, right?
Yep. Shuttle pod.
Shuttlepod. Sorry. And of course, Daniel's day trading even on a Sunday. So
that's right. That's right. It's all crypto, baby.
That's right. That's right. I mean, that's what this is. When you're looking at Daniel right now in his home office, this is what he does Monday through Sunday, right there.
Right.
Making the money.
There you go.
Which has got to be hell over this last week. But anyway.
Oh, dude, it's been nuts.
Yeah. And I, of course, am in Studio One, Trekcast, or whatever we want to call it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't have to be Studio. It could be Studio 69 for all I care.
Everybody's Chad.
It's the EIB. It's the EIB headquarters.
There you go.
With the golden microphone.
No.
Yeah.
No, God, no.
And the paper and the
Hard no. Hard no.
Are those your formerly nicotine-stained hands?
That's correct.
Oh, God, no.
We're just killing Daniel
here. Are going down.
Daniel's dying. He's totally dead inside.
Oh, happened for a while. Ever since the Smashing Pumpkins.
Man.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad to be here, everybody. It is our last. It is our last review of Lower Decks. We have had a very, very steady all year long drumbeat of new Trek shows, and it doesn't stop even with Lower Decks being done on what I would call a pretty good finale. You can't say no cliffhangers because there was one, but it was also just a different storyline that they're just throwing back in there, saying they're going to bring it back up.
As a teaser.
It's a teaser.
As a teaser.
Yeah, it's not a cliffhanger. Yeah. It's a teaser, not an end credits, or not a cliffhanger. So, and if you didn't see it, we're going to spoil that for you because it comes after the credits, and you wouldn't know any better if you always just skip those end credits. So, but it's like a Marvel show at this point. You got to wait until the credits are done rolling.
That's right.
And
which is hard with this show because I find when the show ends, I'm not always sure it's over.
Yeah.
Especially with this show, and I'm like, is there another thing? And then I skip the opening credits, but to sit through the or go past the end credits, and then no, that's not what it is. I actually misspoke. I have to sit through 2 or 3 commercials.
Yeah.
To get to the end credits to know that the show is over.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is irritating.
It's weird. It's weird how they segment that show.
But even made worse by the fact that as soon as those credits get to where they're almost done, if you're watching it on an iPad or an Apple TV, it takes the window and zooms it down really small in the lower right-hand corner to show you what's going to come up next. And it's like, wait, I want to see that, and it's...
You have to go back and select the smaller window. And if you do it wrong, it's a huge pain in the balls to get back to that point.
Yeah, it just closes out. You got to watch the commercials again.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making their money on the ads, and they're doing it on purpose.
It's a pain in the Borg spheres.
There you go. Hits you right in the cubes.
It does hit you right in the cubes. It's not Umax for the lobes, that's for sure. Omax, Umax, whatever.
Well, we should take care of our sponsor real quick.
We should,
and then we can move on to news and all that. So this is our sponsor, Toink. I don't know if you got the website up yet, Chad.
I do, but I hit it immediately.
Awesome. Yes, so Toink, they are our sponsor. It's where fandom lives. They have all sorts of cool stuff. If you want to just show some stuff around, Chad.
I am.
All sorts of different franchises. If you like Harry Potter, Star Trek, Star Wars, Ghostbusters is on there. I've seen
Halo.
Masters of the Universe.
Ghostbusters.
Yes, indeed. Dogs and cats living together, baby.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. Yes. They've got buy 3 get 1 free drinkware, kitchenware, puzzles, pins. Get a free pin with $50 worth of purchases and free shipping within the continuous U.S. So Chad's showing you there's all sorts of things. There's it's like costumes and really neat company, Toynk, TOYNK.com, TOYNK.com. That's TOYNK.com.
They have been a fantastic sponsor for us for the last month and a half. They're doing wonderful, sending us all kinds of things to talk about and review, as we saw with all three of us having something to review. It was great. The big giant McDonald's box was wonderful that they gave Daniel. That was cool.
With the fuzzy knitted Spock.
Yeah, that's definitely a collector's item because I haven't seen that anywhere.
My engineering kit. I mean, just this morning I recalibrated the main deflector array. So there's that.
Yeah, as you should.
In full uniform and everything. It was
in full uniform.
Someone should have gotten video of that. That would have been glorious.
Listen, honesty is everything, and I can't lie to you guys. I can't lie to our listeners. I'm not in full uniform because I don't think this is a Starfleet issue, but you
got to have the comfy shoes on though, in case you have to jump out of the shuttle pod and save a dog. I mean,
that's it. That's it.
Always prepared.
So.
Can you run to save dogs in those?
I can always run to save dogs, my friend.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on. How dare you?
Even in Crocs.
Oh, man, my mistake.
That's hilarious. All right. So with that said, thanks again to Toynk as being our sponsor for the past month and a half. I know we've got a little bit longer to go with them here. What, through November or no? Are we done after this month?
I think that actually was the last one of their spots.
This is the last one of their spots right here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I look forward to the next sponsor.
I'll count later, but I'm pretty sure it's the last one.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good people. All right, let's move on into the news.
Star Trek news.
And
all right, so we've got some interesting news stories, but first let's get through some of the more breaking stuff.
Okay.
So our first news story comes to us from TV parrotanalytics.com. This is kind of interesting. For being one of the most divisive shows out there, Star Trek Picard is one of the most in-demand shows. So TV Parrot Analytics kind of tracks the buzz of a show, like how much demand there is for a show coming up. And according to their new recent averages, they do what's called a rolling 30-day average. So in the last 30 days, how much social media anticipation is of a show, how much talk there is, how much, that kind of thing.
Right.
Star Trek Picard is up quite a lot. It is actually 20.5 times in more demand than any show in America right now, putting it in the top 98 percentile of all TV shows. Yeah. How much people are talking about that? It's only second to like the Lord of the Rings show and the House of Dragon. So
yeah, and I think it's pretty easy to see why. Well, there's two things. I mean, there are a lot of adults now that this is TNG is their Star Trek that they grew up on. There's a lot of Trekkies out there who that was their jumping on point, not TOS, not, the TOS movies. That's one thing. The other thing is, it's Picard season 3, but it's TNG season 10 is really what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm excited.
I was going to say, I think the proof is in the pudding from the standpoint that all of us, the three of us anyway, and a lot of our listeners were really disappointed with seasons 1 and 2. We're not really excited about Picard at all when season 2 came around. Really lost interest halfway through that season.
Yeah.
With its weird plot philandering around and the stuff with the Borg. I mean, just an odd season altogether. With Agnes and everything else. So yeah, I mean, had we not seen something like a season 10 of TNG and all the original cast returning, we would have just really loathed looking forward to the final season of Picard. But instead, they finally did what they should have done in the first damn season and brought everybody back together. So yeah, I'm excited. They definitely they did the right thing. They did the only thing that they could potentially do to get people excited about a season 3. Plus, it's the finale of that season. It's the we all know it's the final season, right? And so that in itself.
Yeah. Jonathan Frakes has come out and said, "Who says that it's the final season?"
It's Picard's. It's Patrick Stewart's final season, right?
Right.
Well, there's some buzz about us meeting his son, Picard's son. In this season.
Is there?
Yes. Yes. And it's all rumor at this point, and it's all who follows who on Twitter and whose resume, accidentally says what. These people have pieced some things together. That being said, I mean, the show is called Picard. It's not called Jean-Luc Picard.
Right. Well, and that's actually a good transition to our next news story, which is from Den of Geeks, in which the showrunner for Picard Season 3, Terry Matalas, has let it slip that a proud Star Trek tradition of handing it off to the next generation will continue in Picard Season 3. So, with Geordi's daughters, with potentially Jean-Luc's son, with probably another Data daughter out there somewhere.
Oh boy.
We saw Will and Troy had their daughter. So why not? More kids.
Yeah.
Do we think Picard's going to die in this season?
Again? Why not?
No, I mean permanently.
Just keep dying.
Yeah. Make him the Highlander of Trek.
That's it. Highlander. Everyone knows if you want to kill a Picard, you have to hit him in the head. Come on.
But every time he dies, they downgrade the android. So by like the 25th death, he's in a Johnny 5.
Kind of like B4, right? Yeah.
He's in a Johnny 5.
There you go. Knock him down a few.
I give it a 50-50 that they don't kill him. I think it's more likely that they don't kill him. That they don't kill him.
I don't think they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to kill him. Yeah, but I think this is it for him. Aside from, I could see him coming back for a cameo or something down the road, but as far as being a series lead or a series regular, the dude is 90 something years old, right?
Yeah.
He's like 90? Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. Every bit of that.
So our next news story comes to us from redshirtsalwaysdie.com, and they ask a very great question. If Star Trek is going to HBO Max, what's the point of Paramount Plus? If you don't know, all the Star Trek movies just about are heading over to Paramount or to HBO Max starting in November. You can watch all the original TOS movies, and some of the JJ movies are going to be there. And then on top of that, you can actually watch on Pluto TV. They have a Star Trek Next Generation 24 hours, 7 days a week streaming channel that's constantly playing old episodes of TNG. The over-the-air broadcasting channel, Heroes and Icon, also plays old Star Trek shows. So, yeah, you can still get it pretty easily, no matter where you're at,
yeah,
free or otherwise. So
that's fine. I don't understand the comment of what's the point of Paramount Plus with all those other locations, because
the whole idea of Paramount Plus originally was it's going to be where Star Trek lives. That's the only place you can get it.
Yeah.
That's why they're saying that.
I guess I see that point, but if I was them, I wouldn't have all of it 100% inside of Paramount Plus all the time, no matter what, no ifs, ands, or buts anyway. I'd want to have all of it there, but I wouldn't want that to be the only place it ever was forever, never, amen. I would want it to be over on Pluto TV for free every once in a while, not all the time, but every once in a while. I'd want the movies themselves to be over on HBO Max, like they're doing every once in a while or somewhere.
Yeah.
So people can get.
They should be there. It's okay for them to be there in addition to Paramount Plus.
That's
but
what I mean.
The whole idea is that, that's supposed to be the first place you go when you want to watch Star Trek.
Yep.
Chad wants Star Trek out there working them corners for him.
That's right. It. Hooking for loose change.
Dan's like, oh my God.
Making that money somehow.
That's right.
Latinum. Making that Latinum.
I should have been a Ferengi, I'm telling you. I identify with them so well.
All right. Our last news story. This is my favorite one. So apparently this came out a year ago and really flew under the radar. But it has popped up to the surface, and I think we need to talk about this. So, again, this is from redshirtsalwaysdie.com. And in the Seventh Rule podcast, which is the one that what's his name?
Sarah Clofton.
Jake Sisko. Yeah, Sarah Clofton. He's the host of that one.
Mm-hmm.
They interviewed Dr. Bashir, Alexander Siddig, and Dr. Bashir there let something slip. They were talking about the episode, Our Man Bashir, the James Bond wannabe episode.
Mm-hmm.
And Siddig then went on to say that the character that Nanan Visitor played, the kind of Black Widow type character, actually, here's a quote. It touched on real elements of her real life, because her brother was in the CIA, a shady individual who was part of the original 60s experiments. I guess it was in the Pentagon using early LSD potential, all that stuff, You should ask her more about it.
Oops.
So he's saying her brother was part of MK Ultra, guys.
Yeah.
That's not something you should have said aloud.
Seen him. No one's seen him since that interview.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
So, I mean...
Oops.
Yeah, that's kind of a big thing to just drop out there and walk away.
Yeah, and then say you should ask her. No.
Yeah.
She's not going to answer.
I mean, he might as well say, you didn't hear this from me, but... And then just...
Like live? Yeah, live.
Yeah. So...
It's about as bad as me showing people's home addresses on their shipping boxes right live here, as I'm sure.
Yes,
on
it's almost right up there.
It's right up there with that.
Yes. It's wild, man. Just that.
That's crazy. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more I can really say on it because there's no other information to go with it, nor do I really want to really put it out there and make it not a target.
Yeah.
So
just the fact that he dropped it on a podcast and then just walked away.
Yeah.
He's about as bad as Tom Holland.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's all the news.
All right, sounds good. So if you don't know, like me, the next thing we talk about after the news is the topic.
It's the main topic.
I still have the Post-it note sitting here on my my monitor so that I can't screw it up.
Yes.
And I've got the tiles on the soundboard in the proper order where it's intro, it's new intro, new news, new topic. Those are the three buttons. Boom, boom, boom.
New news.
Yep. So so of course we get into the season finale of Lower Decks. I forget what the name of this episode was. I've got
it up here. I've got the log lines.
Go for the log lines, sir.
So this was episode 310.
Yep.
The Stars at Night.
That's right.
And the log line is, in the season 3 finale, the Cerritos crew must prove their worth in a mission race.
Finale.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a finale because it's a Friends doing a finale. It's a finale.
No, finale. I misspoke.
I know. I'm just giving you. I know. Yeah. I'm aware.
Yes. Hurrah.
Hurrah. Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dan's like, what is happening this morning?
I've had so much MK Ultra today.
I've had 2 cups of coffee and nothing else since 8:30 last night. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Fasting does work, ladies and gentlemen. I'm down 12 pounds. Okay,
Nice.
so this
Nice.
episode, a lot happened in this episode. Obviously, we've got the fight between California and Texas, and California wins. I don't know if that's really true or not, but in the show it was. So
depends on the fight.
It depends on the fight, I guess.
Yeah.
And of course, I just want to point out something here that never happens. Okay, and this is really a big point that I know all of our listeners missed between last week and this week, but it's a really point of pride for me. For once, I was correct. I was not wrong. If you recall in last week's episode, I said specifically that the Admiral did that on purpose, knew that there was going to be Breen on that planet, and specifically sent the Cerritos in harm's way so that his automated Texas-class ship could save the day, stage the reporter there in the whole 9 yards, because all admirals are evil, and I, of course, was proven right. Thank you very much.
Buen Amigo was a bad amigo.
Buen Amigo was a bad amigo. I mean, who could have thunk it? I mean, was there any way we could have seen that coming?
We will refer to him as Admiral No Bueno.
No Bueno.
That's his new name.
Yeah. Well, he's dead, so I mean.
For now.
For now, right. Yeah, anybody can be brought back. That's true. Anybody can be brought back.
They brought back Shreks, no problem.
Yeah.
I still haven't mentioned it.
No, it's hilarious. It's definitely a trope. But anyway, so the Cerritos is going to get decommissioned. The California class is going to get decommissioned altogether. The Texas class is going to take its place. Carol gets all mad and argues that there needs to be some way to redeem the California class. So that's what she comes up with, this mission race right off the bat. And you know it's going to be bad from the first moment when the Texas class is able to beam down instantly, full power plants, and then just take off.
They're just dropping buildings.
And then taking off, just out of the blue.
Like the Sims.
Yeah, exactly. It was Sims 4.0. But it was crazy and funny and hilarious to see that. Of course, it's all shiny and state of the art looking, and it's just instant. And there you go. So that was pretty good. But then they get to the second planet, and there's a problem right there off the bat, because it's not even doing its job. It's just simply showing up, dropping shit off, and leaving. Right?
Right.
So you take the human element out of it, you've got a little bit of a problem. But all the other things that came along with that ship, pretty cool. Until, of course, with Rutherford's sharp eye and his bionic eye, really is fascinated by this ship and is studying it the entire time instead of really helping out with all of the the missions.
He fixates on things.
He does fixate on things, but good for him. He figures out why something's off. Turns out it's his code, and it turns out Rutherford is who he is because of Admiral No Bueno. Exactly. And that is where kind of things really start to fall apart. Is it's not a good program. That software has emotional issues. It has daddy issues. It's basically badly as a ship,
Yeah.
So big problem comes from that. And of course the ship turns instantly on Admiral No Bueno as soon as he gives it full autonomy, like a dummy.
Yeah. Oh man.
Come to find out there's 3 of these things, not 1. And it starts blowing up the starship that they're at. Oh my gosh. So, but the whole time we've got, Mariner out having a blast. And I really honestly thought that this lady that she was with was going to turn out to be nefarious in some way, shape, or form, just like Mariner. But they pulled a rabbit out of the hat with that and did something original. She's just working for Admiral Picard's foundation.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming.
I thought it was funny how she said, it's cute that it's cute that you think you understand how money works.
Yeah, that was pretty
She's
good.
like, how much does this ship cost?
Yeah. Of course, she has no clue.
Yeah.
No clue. But that was it was a good episode all around. I mean, that's the basic synopsis of it. Is there anything specific we want to pull out and really dissect and talk about? Obviously, there's a cliffhanger at the end, but
Shax's got to eject the warp core. He's been asking to do it for 3 years
3
at this
seasons.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was so
I
happy.
thought he was gonna cry. I think he did cry.
Oh, he
at the
cried
end.
multiple times. I don't
Yeah.
understand Megan Shack's cry, but I guess that's his new personality after death. I don't know.
Well, you get emotional when you get close to death.
That's
Happens.
true. That's true. I did
Listen,
love Boimler's
every time-
impersonation of him.
Every time I eject the warp core, I just I cry a little bit.
Little tears. Little tears.
Little tears.
How's that song go? I cry just a little when I think you're letting go.
What
That's
song
the
is that?
It's
Pitbull
only,
song.
it's only one song I want to hear. It's been a long road.
There you go.
It
Does
was
that
just-
start every road trip you take, Dan? That song?
Everyone, even
Yeah.
the short roads.
just go into the gas station.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was absolutely hysterical, the standing ovation he got as he ran down to engineering. I mean, they couldn't
Yeah.
just do it remotely. They had to have him running down there, and it had to be
Yep.
him specifically turning the key with, what's his name, the
Yep.
engineering guy with the mustache. Mustache Dan? I don't know what his name is.
Mustache Dan.
I don't know what his name is.
Is that Billups? Or is
Phillips.
that somebody else?
Yeah, Phillips.
Yeah,
I think it's Billups with a B.
Is it Billups with a B or is it Phillips?
I
with
think
a
Yeah,
B?
it's Phillips. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
Lord.
with a B.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
See,
hilarious.
this is what Chad is wrong. You
Yeah.
got so excited. I was right about Bueno Amigo. And then look at
It's no
reality
bueno.
just
It's not
came
buen
right
amigo.
in.
It's no bueno. Get it
So-
right.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to know. We saw Ransom schooling everyone on how to lift your leg over the back of the chair
Mhm.
when you sit down, and I mean we all know that's a Riker maneuver. That's not a Ransom maneuver. So now I'm wondering if Riker was selling like the at home video cassette. You pay $9.95 and you get like Riker's command tips. We'll mail it right to your door. You
Yeah.
can study at home. And
These are
YouTube,
those male influencers on TikTok. Hey
YouTube,
guys, here's
YouTube
how to
can be
sit in a
Will
chair
Riker.
with dominance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to be number one in your life? Then make yourself number one in your life. Stop listening to girls. They don't know how to give you directions. Like that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's
Chad,
that guy
that
on
just kinda-
TikTok?
That just kind of came out.
It did.
Oh, Chad knows.
There's
Yeah.
that guy on TikTok. There's that older guy on TikTok who always gives life advice about how to be a man. And the first time I ever came across
There's a
it,
lot of those guys on TikTok.
yeah, but it's an old guy. He's got the hat on backwards. I think he has something to do with the Barstool Network. He's freaking hysterical, and he's making the whole thing as a joke. He doesn't mean any of it.
Yeah.
But the first one I ever
Okay.
saw of him was that you need to make sure that the navigation voice on your phone and in your car is a man, because men don't take directions from women. Be a man.
Oh, God.
Like that's
Wow. I always select the British lady.
yeah.
Just
There you go.
I don't know why, but I'll follow her anywhere.
Yeah, I'll listen to any British librarian. I tell you.
Before they did it on phones for navigation, Garmin did the navigation with Snoop Dogg. Like he recorded.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
great thing about it is it purposely lied to you. So if you weren't paying attention to the actual map, it would trick you because it's Snoop.
It's terrible.
That's pretty
Yeah.
bad. That could result in some lawsuits.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they got rid of it.
Yeah.
They do need to have
You know-
some different voices though for those kinds of things. They really need to give
Well,
us
They need to give
Lashana
us.
Troy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Majel Barrett. She recorded her
Yep.
her voice before she passed.
Yep.
Let's get on
I
that.
want Peter Weller, man. I want RoboCop.
That'd scare me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Peter
I don't
Weller,
know.
man. He was
Dead or alive, turn left.
Yeah.
I want
He
Peter
was a
Cullen.
badass.
I want Optimus Prime.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Then
good.
why not? Let's get the other Peter Gabriel. Let's get him.
No.
Do it.
He can sing all the directions.
Might as well just go with Ed Sheeran if you're going to do that.
Jasmine says Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Well, yeah. I pity the fool who don't drive the speed limit.
Yeah.
So, I guess we should talk about that cliffhanger because that thing was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It was. So there's a lot of things in the season that they left up to obviously next season, which they've done in
Right.
seasons past, where they just drop something 1 episode or 2 episodes, and then you don't hear about it for the rest of that season. Then all of a sudden, here it is this season, i.e., Peanut Hamper and Boimler's evil twin, who is now in Section 31. So those are two things that could come up at any given time, but one that they hadn't addressed all year long was Badgie, and here he is at the end in a post credits scene for a split second. He's alive. He is in a headpiece, I guess. Is that a leftover extra?
I think it's
Rutherford
like part of the
headpiece?
computer.
Yeah,
Or something.
it looked like a Rutherford headpiece, kind of, but
Yeah.
whatever, doesn't matter. He's alive. He's in there, and he's nefarious as ever because he's even got an evil grin on his face as he's getting ready to be beamed aboard some sort of ship. I hope it's the Packlids because he would just run right over them.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, do you think you know which ship it is that's taking him away?
Well, I'm not sure which ship is taking him away, but I do have to point out that they have showed us this cold storage facility where all of these dangerous AI are put at the end of the episode. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a multiple episode callback where all of these dangerous AI come together and, I don't know, form an anti-federation. I don't know.
I mean, it
no,
did seem like that was the original plan for a while there, because you had in Discovery how much they hated AI. They kind of alluded to that in Picard in the first season.
Yeah.
And then this, those writers really hate artificial intelligence.
It's the only thing on their mind because they're afraid they're going to lose their job.
Maybe it's the Romulans then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We had someone in the chat, E6AJC. I've never heard, I don't know who that is, other than that's his name in Discord, but he says it is classified, correct. It was Rutherford's headpiece from when it got blown up in season 1 finale. Yeah, it looked like Rutherford's headpiece to me.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the going consensus online, from what I've seen, so that was a green beam that got it, and everyone seems to think that's the Borg. That's picking
could
up
be
Badgie.
the brain too. It's green, but
it could be. Yeah, it's pretty nondescript.
It could be the Romulans. I mean, it could be.
I was going to say Romulans.
Anybody's green.
Romulans have been green.
It could be the Packlids with a green beam. Who knows? I mean,
or the Klingons.
Or the Klingons. Yeah, anybody who's green. It could be the Orions. I mean,
I wonder if this is a bit of they're just throwing it out there, and then whatever gets the most traction, they'll be like, "All right, I'll write it that way."
It's Hulk's son. You know, he's green too.
That's right.
It's She-Hulk. She's come here to clap back.
So she's gonna twerk on the Federation.
Oh Lord. I did get Disney Plus this week, so I'll be able to watch She-Hulk and
congratulations.
Andor. So you got a neighbor?
No, my father-in-law's dropping something off. So
nice.
give him the wave.
Yeah.
This window's not coming down, but I'll wave to you.
You don't want to be live on YouTube, do you?
That's right. That's right. So speaking of Andor, still haven't watched it. Continue.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Yeah.
I've seen it. It's great.
Is it?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had some people tell us we should talk about it on the show, but we'd all have to watch it to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I fully intend to watch it.
Yeah.
I do fully intend to watch it, but something about it, I'm just not dying to go watch it.
It's a very adult show. Not that it's inappropriate. It's that it's complex themes that kids wouldn't necessarily get.
Yeah.
So it's very political, very cerebral. It's
House of Cards.
Yeah.
House of Cards, Star Wars style.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm interested now.
Yeah.
I enjoyed House of Cards, even though I despise Kevin Spacey.
You and everybody else, baby.
Yeah.
Can you
believe it was a good show up until we found out?
Can you believe he's actually fighting Anthony Rapp's case in court right now?
He already won. That just ended.
And Rapp won?
Who won?
Kevin Spacey. They couldn't prove anything.
I don't know the details of the.
I don't know the details either.
I don't know if we should really get into it because it's kind of dark. But basically, Anthony Rapp accused him of something, and there was not enough evidence to prove it. So because it's such an old case. So it was fighting uphill for sure.
I just don't like the idea of Kevin Spacey coming back into shows and all that. I just
I don't think that's happening.
Be done and walk away, and you should be in jail. Thank God you're not, and just stop, go away.
Just stop. Yeah.
Well, there was, there really must have been not a lot of evidence because the standard of proof in a civil case
pretty low.
Is not is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It's a preponderance of the evidence, which is 51%, which basically means you have to prove, yeah, it probably happened.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty low bar.
From my understanding, the case basically boiled down to he said, he said.
Yeah.
So that was it. Like there wasn't.
I don't know. It seems pretty cut and dry to me. Between those two people, who do you think is telling the truth and who's lying?
Oh, for sure.
That's pretty freaking easy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see a big Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein comeback. Those two are gonna team up. They're gonna come back together better than ever. They're gonna dazzle us all.
No.
And they're gonna do it by making a movie about Trump.
Yeah. No.
Oh God.
I mean, just make it worse. I mean, just.
No.
Okay, back to start. Getting back to Trek. A much brighter
tractor
topic.
Beam.
Yeah, tractor
beam.
Yeah, right back
course
in
correction.
Exactly, definitely course correction. Okay,
Gentry says Dan Lombardo, space lawyer.
That's
all right, go ahead.
Space law. Space law is it's important stuff. It's uncharted territory.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Sure.
There you go. In space, no one can hear you litigate.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. That was quick. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Badgie. So I don't know. We'll see what they do with Badgie. We'll see what they do with Boimler's evil twin, who's now in Section 31. We'll see if we get a return of Peanut Hamper next season. I don't know if they necessarily have the time to be able to see what people say online and then go and write and start to do the artwork and everything else for next season. I feel like they do this show fairly continuously as far as their development in order to be able to get a cartoon like this, even though it's 27 minutes, 22 minutes, 25 minutes out every year.
On their animation process.
Yeah.
South Park famously can turn a show in a week, which is unheard of.
Right, but that's South Park, and it's just a bunch of almost like felt paper on top of felt paper moved around and taken a photo of. I mean, it's
no, that's the way they used to do it. Now they do computer animation.
It's even faster. Right, exactly. It's even faster. It's all it is though is just moving those shapes around and you're done. It's almost not even animation. It's just moving shapes. Yeah. Whereas with Lower Decks, it's also CGI. There are parts of the episode everywhere once in a while where it's actual CGI, cartoon style CGI. But
that process has been sped up so much.
I'm sure
what it used to be.
I'm sure
there's an old animation company called Filmation. I don't know if you're familiar with Filmation, but Filmation actually, I think they produced the animated Star Trek back in the day. But
I think so. Yeah.
But they famously did He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And one of the things that they did before they started producing it is they filmed real muscular people doing certain things, turning and walking in this direction, swinging a sword, punching. They filmed them doing all these things and then drew over the actual film to create a template. And then all they would have to do is from that point forward, okay, we're going to make this He-Man or we're going to make this Skeletor. And it got to the point where they had all of these things just set up in the can. Okay, we need him to do this, but we need to flip it because he's going to do it in the other direction. And, even as a kid, I could look at it and tell, that's the same shot they use over and over and over again.
Yeah, the same movements.
And this was back in the day with them doing it with colored pencils.
Right.
Doing that now with computers, I mean, they're basically saying, all right, you know what? We want Mariner coming in from the left. She's going to leave on the right, and this guy's going to stand here, blah, 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 go. And the computer just does it all. Now, they gotta touch things up, but I really don't think, I don't think it's a week like South Park, but
no,
I really don't think it takes long I think it takes longer to record the audio than to make the visuals for these shows.
Yeah, it just depends on the style. We don't know enough behind the scenes what they're doing, but it's a lot faster than what it used to be for sure. And I looked it up. Yes, it was Filmation that did the Star Trek animated series.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. And we'll see what
animated. We have another Star Trek show to talk about.
Yeah, let's get into it. Prodigy.
Yes. So, were you guys caught up on Prodigy at all, or
No?
did you go into this cold turkey like me?
I was not caught up, and I know we talked about just skipping to the premiere of season 2 and watching that.
Yeah.
But I had some time last night and this morning, and I said, you know what? Let me just power through and watch the whole thing. So I'm actually caught up.
Okay.
I watched the whole thing. So
Okay. So this wasn't the premiere of season 2. This is the premiere of the second half of season 1. Is how they're counting it.
all right.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Technical.
Yeah.
Apparently, what they've done is they debuted it very early on Paramount Plus. Then recently, they've aired the last few episodes on actual Nickelodeon, so that by the end of last week, the new premiere starts today or this week on Paramount Plus. So if you were watching it on TV, you would be caught up.
Yeah,
that's how they set it up.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right.
Which explains why there was no recap at the beginning of this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No recap. Sense. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, it's a show. It's obviously not geared towards 45-year-old men. It was, it's cool to see Janeway again. It's cool to see Chakotay again. I did watch the episode from last season where they used pre-recorded audio from old episodes, and they had Scotty. They had Scotty, Uhura, Spock, Odo, and they had Crusher, but I think Crusher's audio was new. I think she actually came in the studio and recorded stuff.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I mean, that was cool. I don't know. It's not a show that I'm really excited about. I might watch it.
I mean, you got kids in that target demographic. Would he be interested in it?
Well, here's the thing. He's 10 years old. He and I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes when it first came out. And then we just kind of fell off and didn't watch the rest of it. And when I sat down to recap it yesterday, he was in the room, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna watch this for my podcast. Do you want to watch it with me, or is it not something you're interested in?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm not really interested. I'm gonna play on my iPad instead."
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of his age, though. He doesn't want to do anything except play on his friggin' iPad.
But that is the new TV.
That or Switch or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch some YouTube.
Well, that's how bad it's getting. It's like I see him on the Switch and I'm pleased. I'm like, all right, well, at least he's down in the living room with other people
interacting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, the log line for this episode 111, Asylum. The log line is: at the edge of Federation space, the crew applies for asylum at a comm relay outpost, only for their starship to reveal a shocking true purpose. So there you go.
Yeah, it's a kids show. Yeah. So some of the logic doesn't make sense. They go to this Federation relay station so they could contact the Federation. No, you contact the relay station from your communications console and contact the Federation. They land the ship when it would be a lot easier to beam down. They kind of forget about the transporter until it's convenient for the plot of the show. So there's a lot of that. And I know that happens in Star Trek, period. But there's a lot of that in this show where, I know the mechanics of Star Trek. I know how it's supposed to work. And
do you think they do that because their audience is kids and they aren't going to either pick up on that and they're just using it for their plot devices, or?
I don't know, because then they'll have an episode where some of the concepts they're talking about in the episode are pretty out there. Like they go through a tachyon storm, and the ship is now existing in 6 different time frames. So everybody on the ship who's in a different part of the ship, time is moving at a different speed, and so this guy's already dead. but the other 5 people aren't dead yet because time's moving at a different speed, and the girl who her time frame is moving the slowest. It's up to her to save the ship, so she's got to learn how to be an engineer. And so this guy died in 10 minutes, and she spends 4 months learning how to fix the ship, so that she can fix the ship, so that in the end everyone gets saved. So it's like they're doing some pretty out there concepts.
Yeah,
so
it is out there for a kid to try to swallow that.
Yeah. There's the main plot involves time travel, and so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I wonder if that's easier concept for kids to get right now, especially with like Marvel movies and doing multiple timelines and multiverses. So because it's a little bit out there right now, it's easier to grasp.
There is also a such thing as you're going to be putting out a concept that the kids don't understand, but maybe they'll be entertained, and at the very least, maybe start to have a conversation about what does that mean and how does that work and where does that play into and then maybe they're interested by it later on and remembering it and getting into newer, or for them newer episodes of TNG or anything else as they get older. But as a teaser,
that does happen.
But it does happen, right? It does happen. So, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
I can remember the very first time I heard the term DNA and understood, or was made to understand what it is and what it does. Daniel, can you guess? Do you know where I'm going?
Oof.
It was a cartoon.
I want to say Ninja Turtles.
Nope. No, it was 5 years earlier than Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I don't know.
There was a mini series of G.I. Joe where they were stealing genetic material from like famous generals and they made a composite clone to create a new leader.
Serpentor.
Yes, but here I am. I'm 10 years old. I'm like, DNA, what's that? And they explain on the show exactly what it is. So, I mean, to this day, when I think of DNA, I can't help but think of G.I. Joe.
Interesting.
I was never a big G.I. Joe guy. No, not huge.
I never even watched any of the shows.
Well, don't go watch them now. They're dated. They're totally dated.
They're pretty dated.
I did watch cartoons as a kid, but I really didn't watch cartoons as much. I mean, when I was little I did, but by the time I got into kindergarten and first grade and all that, I wasn't watching cartoons. I honestly don't know what the hell.
You strike me as a Speed Racer fan.
Nope, wasn't watching Speed Racer.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't recall really watching a whole lot of TV as a kid until I really actually doing anything on television until I got a Sega Master System, then a Sega Genesis, and we had a satellite.
There you go.
So, like by the time we got into all of that, I was old enough to really go to town with stuff. But before that, I didn't really. Then I had a computer, and I really spent a lot of time on that. But no, I just wasn't really much on the cartoon, comics, any of that stuff. Really growing up, a little bit here and there, but not a lot.
All right.
Much like with Prodigy, I hate to break it to you guys, I didn't watch this episode.
What?
This is why I haven't talked about it a whole.
In our chat?
I know.
You made me.
I kept meaning to get to it and I never did. In fact, I watched Lower Decks 20 minutes before this show started, so I finished watching it right before this started. So
wow,
it's just been a very busy week. So
wow,
I apologize.
Just leaving everybody to hang out and dry.
I know. I'm sorry.
What do you think, Daniel? What was your take on this show?
On this episode?
On this episode and on the series altogether. Are you caught up or no?
No, I'm not caught up at all. So I went into it cold, and I didn't feel lost, like, because I'd seen a couple episodes before when we first watched it, so I knew that they were trying to get to the Federation eventually.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. I think it reminds me a lot of that new He-Man that's out right now, the Netflix one that's for the kids.
Yeah. Yep.
That's completely different than the original. It has a different backstory and everything. It felt like that kind of frenetic pace, those kinds of characters, even the way that family is so important, that very clearly found family is so important, right? It's not their actual blood relatives, but the friends that they made along the way.
So did you enjoy the Vin Diesel cameo? Did you enjoy?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When they go into warp and say it's all about family. Yes.
Yep. Because they're going to Olive Garden. They're warping to Olive Garden.
That's right. It's all about family. And those breadsticks. Yes. I've showed the show before to my nephews and niece. They all, like your son, like, oh, it was cool the first time, and now it's like, I got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know what that says for the franchise, but
I don't know what that says about kids in general, honestly, because so many kids right now at that age bracket and that age group, they're not watching traditional television anyway. They're watching YouTubers. They're watching streams. They've got a whole different subset of people that they're interested in and follow. Things like Mr. Beast, things like Timo, and those guys over in Britain that are doing all the Minecraft stuff.
You know what was interesting to me, though, is I did notice that when I was watching Prodigy, the commercials changed, right? Because it's a different demographic for that show.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Dan, what commercials you got, but one of the ones I got was
Lucky Charms?
Of course. Yes, I did get a Lucky Charms one.
No, I'm serious.
I did get one. Yeah, okay. For sure. Yeah. But I also got, I don't know if you got this one, a Barbie podcast commercial.
No.
Like Mattel or whatever is making, they have kids doing what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really?
Well,
yeah.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
I mean, that may be the quote on a t-shirt. I'm a Barbie girl, quote, Chad.
Yeah. There you go. So here's the thing. I mean, marketing, it's literally their job to figure out what the kids are interested in.
Right.
And do that. So I brought up the Lucky Charms commercial because it was a commercial for Lucky Charms that looked like you were playing Roblox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then a big thing came across the screen that says this is advertisement. So they're they're covering their bases, but it's telling the kids to, you can go play a version of this game on the Lucky Charms website. And, there's a big banner that says, it's an advertisement. We're telling you to go play a commercial on your computer.
Yeah.
But, it's things are different than when we were kids, and the marketing people are seeing that, and they're not trying to hold on to the past. They're going with it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if Trek is really doing a great job of that, but yeah.
But I mean, I can remember my son when he was little and he first started watching YouTube videos on kids' YouTubes with the kids opening the surprise eggs and the little toys and all that. And then when he was done watching that, he wanted to pretend that he was on a show. So he would play with his toys and pretend to be talking to the subscribers at home. So it's a whole it's a whole different thing that kids are doing now. And I don't get a lot of it, but it is what it is.
The Barbie commercial was interesting because the way they were couching it, it was, we're going to give you storylines that you can play with your dolls later, which is weird.
Huh. Yeah.
I don't know how that would play in terms of kids listening to it. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like,
I think it's
so weird.
I think it's a slippery slope for them. I know they want to use the online experience and the podcast experience and the TikTok experience to drive the sale of toys, but the reality
with the animated series for us.
Yeah, but the reality is a lot of these kids, once they start doing these other things, they're not interested in the physical toys anymore. My son has tons of toys that he just doesn't touch anymore. And he's still into Sonic the Hedgehog, but he doesn't want to play with the Sonic toys. He wants to play the Sonic game or watch the video of someone else playing the Sonic game. So we're coming to a point where it was that this stuff was all done to push the sale of a product, and it's morphing to the stuff is the product.
The digital stuff is the product.
Yes. Yes.
Well, and
they're not gonna buy the action figure, so sell them the Robux so that he can buy the digital action figure in the game.
Right, yeah.
Right, but they won't buy the toy to play with, but they will buy the collectible to sit up on their shelf.
Yes, that's the other thing.
Even the kids will do that, right? So
yes.
mine is very much into Sonic right now, big time, and would take anything Sonic, pillow, doll, just to put up on the shelf, not to play with,
right?
But to look at or to have as their decoration, right? So and of course they want the games and the shows, and they're watching all those everywhere they can. But
Sonic has had such a resurgence because of those movies.
Yeah, I really didn't think it was going to have that big of an impact. They're okay movies, but I didn't think they did that great. But yeah, it seems like it's everywhere with Sonic anymore.
They did a lot better than they were about to do. They had a major course. They had a major course correction when people came out and said that right there sucks. Yep. Don't do that.
Yep.
And they were like, "Hey, let's we got some time. Let's fix this."
Right. That was very smart on their part, right?
Good on them for that.
They reinvested more money, and it was a very smart move on their part. And here they are. So, yeah.
All right. Well, should we get into feedback?
Yeah, we should get into the feedback time. Here we go.
Let's enter feedback.
And we've got a couple of voicemails, a couple of emails, a couple little bit of everything. Let me pull up.
Cool.
Let me pull up some of the emails real quick. Scroll through those. Here we go. From Gentry. Well, I would send this to Dan also, but don't have an email for him, so left a voicemail. Would love to re-record it because I messed it up in a few places or two, but it is what it is. I told Scott, I see your commercial for FNN and raise you a pack-led plot. Keep up the great work. So we've got a voicemail coming in from Gentry as well. And I think I have a chartable to go over. I think that's the only email we got. I'm just scanning to make sure. Yes, that's the only email, but we do have a chartable.
Okay.
So let's go over where we rank in the last 7 days. We fell out of the rankings in Canada, Australia, and Germany. So we're out of the 250 mark range for those. But for TV reviews in Great Britain, we fell 42 positions to, guess what? Out of 250, because it cuts off for tracking after you get out of the top 250. But we fell 42 positions to what? Take a guess. What's the number?
240?
247.
171.
Oh, wow.
So we're still in the top 200. Yeah, that's pretty high. Nice. We also fell in the United States. I'm not sure why we're falling in multiple places, but it just comes and goes and flows. We fell 34
I think
positions.
it's because the current Star Trek shows are not the most popular ones.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Lower Decks. I mean, but seems pretty popular.
But it's not Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. This is correct.
Strange New Worlds starts back up. We'll shoot back up.
And it's always in a lagging indicator. These charts are always a lagging indicator.
Yeah.
So this might be where oh yeah, I got a really cool stat here. Anyway, so in the United States we fell 34 spots to what? In the TV reviews category.
200?
35.
215. So we
I was just close.
Still in the top 250.
Yeah, very close.
But with all of that said, we have 2 episodes that rank very high in specific countries. So episode number 337, Star Trek 4 Father Crisis, whatever you called it. I get part of it cut off there, so I don't know what the full title was, but it was our episode number 337. It actually ranked number 177 in this country. Take a guess. It's not one that we normally talk about.
Panama.
Not Panama. What'd you say, Dan?
Denmark.
Spain.
Okay.
So number 177 in Spain for that episode. Yep. And then episode number 338, free expired tacos.
Yes.
We ranked number 42 in this country. Number 42, pretty high.
Mexico.
Oh no!
They love tacos.
I'm gonna swing big here. The country of Chad.
You're close. It was South Africa.
Ah, yes.
Pretty
Typical
close.
community for free expired tacos.
Yeah, free expired tacos in South Africa. There you go. As always, the rankings are absolute hoot to see and follow and track where they go. You never know what's going on with those. So, okay. We've got two. Let's play the first one. Here we go. Two voicemails.
Gentry?
I think so.
For the Federation News Network, I'm Space Gentry. A recent surge in PAC-led activity has raised the attention of podcast hosts throughout the galaxy. The PAC-led, the humanoid species of refuse merchants, are known throughout the galaxy for their clump ships, which are ships cobbled together from technology taken from other cultures. The PAC-led themselves refuse to develop their own. PAC-led ships take technology from more advanced species and adapt it to their own systems, but they do not have the knowledge or capability to repair them, making Star Trek and Starfleet engineers a favorite target for PAC-led kidnapping plots. Now it seems the PAC-led have set their sights on a new target, podcast hosts. A single unnamed PAC-led has recently begun co-opting time away from certain less regulated or less organized podcasts and offered reviews of other programs. A universal ploy among the PAC-led is to insert themselves into seemingly hopeless or innocent situations with the covert intention of absconding with their stolen prize. What starts with a few innocent reviews quickly becomes an hour-long diatribe covering things from things that make them go, how strong Big Strong City is, and the amount of money they believe they are owed from the Federation for rescuing lore from deep space. Already affected by this PAC-led plague have been several podcasts, including Shut Up Wesley, Janeway Did Nothing Wrong, and the popular weekly series Triple Stew. Who the PAC-leds will target next is unknown, but with recent surges in activity, podcast hosts will be needing to be on extremely vigilant, or else they too could become part of the We Talk Good PAC-led network. Reporting for FNN, I'm Space Gentry.
That's pretty good. Where's he going with that? That's pretty good.
Space Gentry.
Space
awesome.
Gentry, yeah, I love it.
The We Talk Good is my favorite AM radio show.
Yeah,
We
talk good. That's pretty funny.
Thank you, Space
Yes,
Gentry.
thank you.
Yep, as always, we appreciate it. Here is another voicemail that answers the questions about whether it's hard taco shells or soft taco shells.
Oh,
good.
It's both.
Soft tacos are the best. That's all there is to it. Especially when it's her puffy soft tacos.
It's what?
I'm not gonna repeat it.
Especially when it's
puffy.
what?
The puffy soft tacos. You ever had those?
Like a gordita?
The real puffy shell.
Yeah. The want to be like non-bread that isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like puffy tacos.
Puffy tacos. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah,
I like the double decker taco, which Taco Bell has discontinued.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I'm still upset about that. You know, and it's like every time I think about it, do you remember the episode where a Family Guy where Stewie kidnaps the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and they all go to McDonald's together, and they're trying to order from the drive-thru, and I think it was Michael Dorn who wanted to order a McDLT, and Stewie's yelling at him that they don't make that anymore. They haven't made it in 15 years. And his argument was, but they have everything in there to make it. They could just make it for me.
Yes.
And that's how I feel about the double-decker taco. It's literally a soft taco shell. You slather some beans on there, and you put a hard taco in it, and you wrap it up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How could you discontinue that? You have everything there.
Yeah.
Just make it.
That would be funny to drive around the different drive-thrus and just order something that's not on the menu, but they have the ingredients for, and see how often they just make it.
Yeah.
My favorite fast food item that's long gone you cannot get it. They don't even have the items all the way. Is the Taco Bell chili cheese burrito. Do you guys remember this thing?
No.
It was
Chili
different kinds of
cheese
beans,
burrito.
like a chili cheese beans,
Yeah.
and then cheese. Dude, it was amazing. So good. Just gone.
Yeah.
I remember the Frito
Lost in
burritos.
time and
I don't know if they
history.
still have those. The burritos with the Fritos in them.
Fritos?
Yeah, those are good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know they do the Dorito one.
They have a Fritos one right now too.
Do they have a Fritos still?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I know
the
they're bringing back the McRib. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
say they're bringing
I
back
heard
that piece of garbage.
I would never eat that in a million years.
You saw my McRib analogy.
Oh yes.
No,
It's very
what was
accurate.
what was
I don't
it?
like McRib.
The McRib is a deadbeat dad. It comes around. It comes around once a year, and it's supposed to be a big deal, but really, it's just a piece of shit.
Yes.
So we're gonna get some hate mail now from
Yeah.
Federation citizens all over the place who love the McRib. But
Pack-
whatever.
Your
I'm
comments on the
prepared.
McRib have been. So you know how I like that pose questions to our audience every week, just about.
Mm-hmm.
Your McRib has inspired me for this coming week. You'll
All right,
see.
good.
Good.
But this week I did ask our audience, what's better, hard shell or soft shell tacos?
Yep.
Okay.
What did you guys pick? Let's get your.
I already said this. It was soft taco. That was me on the voicemail. So
Okay.
it was a puffy soft taco.
No, I literally, it's both.
Yeah.
When we have tacos at home, I have my wife, hey, do we got any beans? And I warm up some refried beans, and I make a double-decker taco at home, and then I hold my finger to the air to Taco Bell, and I enjoy it at home.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Do you want the best refried beans out there? Because I will give you a secret.
Ortega's in
Yeah,
a can.
give me the secret.
Okay. You get some chorizo.
Some what?
Right? The chorizo, Mexican sausage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mexican sausage. Cook that up in a pan. Put the beans in that. Mix them together. The most amazing refried beans when you combine them.
But sausage. That's not beans. That's sausage.
It's Mexican sausage. It's different.
Oh,
It's not like a breakfast.
Still sausage though. You can put the word Mexican in front of it.
So
it's still
good.
sausage.
It's
I mean,
so good.
it does sound good.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily refried beans, but
it's amazing.
I get you.
There's German sausage. There's Italian sausage. There's Mexican sausage. It's funny to me that all these different cultures have decided to take the leftover scraps independently of each other. Have decided, let's take the leftover scraps, grind them up, and shove them inside the intestine. Wrap that up, and we'll eat that later.
Yep.
I think that's.
I mean,
it's necessity.
Haggis, same idea.
Yeah. It's necessity if you really look at it. I mean, we used to be very creative as a people on how to get everything out of our food stocks, right? And we don't have to do that necessarily anymore. Now we just get creative on how we can apply everybody else's food stocks into one thing and call it Tex-Mex or who knows, right? So,
So according to our audience, hands down, it's soft tacos. People love soft tacos over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because the hard ones, they go over. You take one bite, they blast into a million pieces, and
they just shatter.
Can we just do quesadillas? I mean, it's the same damn thing. So
what?
Quesadillas are great.
Yeah, it's quesadilla. Quesadilla is a pancake version of a taco. I mean, it's easier to eat, right? So
there's so many things wrong with that, Jeff.
It's true.
So many
just the white guy here saying it's all the same thing, right? I mean, it's still a tortilla, it's still meat, it's still cheese, it's still whatever. It's all the same thing.
I mean, then a hamburger is a sandwich.
It is a sandwich, yeah.
It is a sandwich.
Yeah. That's all. Anywhere I go all over the place, right? So I travel all over the place for work, and everywhere I go, this food's the freaking same everywhere. I mean, some places taste better than others. Some places know how to do barbecue. A lot of places do not. Some people put coleslaw on their burgers, and I want to smack them. But whatever. I mean, it's still all the same type of food, though. Everywhere you go, it's just all the same type of food. So
that's true. Yeah. So a lot of soft taco love in our group.
Yep.
What about you?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Come on, man.
For a taco, it's got to be a soft taco.
Right.
But because I would rather have a tostada or nachos than a hard shell taco.
Oh yeah, chips and dip, baby. Yeah. Chips and dip.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's my weakness.
Oh, we didn't have people X up. If you guys want to chat with us, X up in the
Oh yeah,
in the
that's
chat.
part of our feedback as always. So I know Chaz is going to.
But
I can
hurry
see it
up,
coming
'cause-
out. There it
Yep.
is.
Yep,
starving.
immediately.
I'm starving.
I
at this
am too.
point.
I
We're
haven't
talking
eaten
about
since
chips,
8:30. Yeah,
salsa,
I'm ready to go.
tacos.
It's almost
Yeah.
noon. I can eat at noon. So
There you go. There you go.
here we go, Chaz.
Okay. Do you guys cut up your corn tortillas and fry them like chips or anything?
I've done that and mixed it with scrambled eggs, and that's a very Mexican dish.
Yep,
Oh, really? I never tried
Yeah.
that.
done that with
I
scrambled
have-
eggs. Yeah.
So what was the question?
No,
What
you
was
take
the- we cut up-
corn tortillas, you cut them into chips, and you fry them.
Yeah, like your
No.
mesa tortillas
And
you buy in a
then
big
you-
stack at Walmart for like $3,
yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
stack them all up, cut them
make
into
tacos
triangles,
or
and throw them on
whatever,
the
and put 'em
fryer.
in
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
No,
really
I've
good
never-
chips. You ever tried that?
I've never done
Yeah.
that. Well, you're talking about eggs. I've mixed chili with eggs, and that's amazing. I don't know if you've ever done
Yeah.
that.
Salsa and eggs, and
Yeah, if you want chili, if you ever have a hankering for chili for breakfast, just mix some eggs into it, and there you go. You just justified it. Enjoy your breakfast.
Well, I kind of want to travel after that, you know. I have to drive like 30 miles to the city, so if I mix chili with eggs, it's,
Chili and eggs. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
might,
Aren't those
might
huevos
be missing a
rancheros?
sock on the way to work, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Tribbles and chips.
Yes.
Triples and chips.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. What'd you think of Lower Decks, Chazbuz?
This season was great, you know.
Yeah.
The only thing missing was more pack lids, so I wanted more pack lids. Because this show, it's perfect for, I don't know, just a stupid enemy like that.
Mm-hmm.
We are smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know what you're talking about. We are smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like watching Idiocracy or something, like if they went to space. So, and I'm hoping that Badgie maybe is with the Packlids and not the Borg, because let's take a break from the Borg right now.
Yeah. You're all borged out, huh?
Well, they've just ruined their whole
last
plot
season,
line.
yeah.
They just ruined the entire thing with the Borg, with everything that was happening on Picard and Agnes, and just
just total mess.
just walk away from it for a while.
And I miss that stinger, because every time the credits start rolling, I see the countdown for Discovery coming up. I don't know why my Paramount always shows Discovery after Lower Decks is over, or any show.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you want to watch Discovery? And I'm like, no.
When they say a countdown, is it a countdown until they just play a Discovery episode, or is it a countdown until a new season type thing? Just next episode, gotcha.
Yeah. Which I don't understand
Bastards.
why.
Bastards.
Because they've got to push people to watch it.
Well, I think what they want is somebody to forget about it, and that counts as a view, and it goes on the record.
Oh, Lord.
Right. They're trying to backdoor us here. Like, hey, if we do this, somebody like has to go get the coffee or whatever. We play part of the episode, that counts as a view. Boom, you know. And that kind of messes it up. So
yeah,
for sure.
And Dan, I want you to do the G.I. Joe PSA.
Public service announcement.
Hey kids, don't huff glue. You know, like do a PSA after the end of the show and like have like the music going. So
I will give that.
You got the uniform on.
I will give that some thought. I might be able to come up with something. Probably not at the end of this episode, but at some point in the future, we may have a Trekcast style, G.I. Joe style Trekcast PSA about
like
what to do when there's power lines down on the road. Don't ride your bike over them.
Yeah,
no.
Don't touch that dangerous dog over there.
Yep.
It might be rabid.
Hey, this ice is too thin. Don't skate on this.
That's right.
Don't play with fire, Billy.
Now you know.
And you know, and He-Man did the same thing, because they always had PSAs.
Yep.
They all did. It's how they justified not being commercials because they gave you a life lesson.
Yep.
But you know what? I watched them because there's more GI Joe. I couldn't I had to watch every GI Joe. So I was that GI Joe generation that it like Star Wars toys they quit selling, and I got in that GI Joe phase where everything was Joe for me as a kid. So
nice.
Nice. All right. Did you watch Prodigy as well?
No, I watched about the first half of the first season, and I didn't watch this new one. I'm kind of like you guys. It's hard to follow. I don't know if I had to be a kid or what. It just it really doesn't feel like Star Trek to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a kid show.
Yeah,
it's a kid show. So I mean, it's kind of gateway to get them in, but I wish there was kind of another way, like to actually show the ship. You know, maybe they should have done like a Starfleet Academy TV show, like a cartoon for kids.
Yeah,
and that could have been good. So I had Miles O'Brien teaching the kids. So
just yelling at the kids.
Just great.
Yeah.
The most important man in Starfleet history.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then you can see a Cardassian kid and call him a spoonhead and get in trouble and go to HR.
Teaching the kids about subtle racism.
Yeah.
So Miles is back in HR again. He called that kid a spoonhead and a carny. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could go all over the place with that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on, Chazbooth.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening.
It's been a great season, so thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, it has been. Thanks for listening. As always, I'm going to put you on mute. There you go. And then Species 5618 is unmuted because he X'd up. I know that's Taryn, though.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't have much to
what's up, man?
Good. I didn't have much to say about Star Trek, but when you said chili cheese burrito, I just had to jump in.
Right? They were delicious, right?
Seriously. They came back a couple of years ago, and I think I had it every day until I went there and they ran out. So I'm still waiting for it to do a comeback like they did the Mexican pizza.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We'll save that for the Trekcast or Foodcast podcast.
Yep.
But
we could do that after Thanksgiving. Just straight up food, you know. Or right before Thanksgiving. Actually, that's probably better, but whatever.
But no, I didn't get to watch Prodigy, but I did watch Lower Decks, and no, it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed the whole season, to be honest. It was it's what you expect from Lower Decks, and I think they kind of expanded out a little bit more because I was worried it was just going to be Pac-Lids every year, and as much as I do want to see them again, it was kind of nice to see some other things as well. And it's a short season. The episodes are, if you ask me, too short.
Yeah, they really are.
There's at least 4 or 5 90-second commercials that pop up, so it feels like the commercials are longer. And I swear, it's the same commercials every time.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it was actually pretty good. The one thing I was cracking up. It was when Picard was revealed, and I could just picture. I just say, wait, so is she related to Vosh or not Vosh or or what is this? And I was so hoping they would have done a cameo or they would have shown Picard or something. And I think they missed out on that.
Yeah.
What if they said Vosh was her mom?
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you don't spell it out, but for those that know, they know.
Right. And just leave it as an open-ended, you never know kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or even when she was pulling up Admiral Picard, show the was it Family Guy that Patrick Stewart was on, and show that version of his cartoon self.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, American Dad. He was the
CIA that's right. Director? Yeah, American Dad.
Yeah, he's the director of the CIA.
Yeah,
British accent.
Exactly.
He figured it out.
Yeah.
That would be classic.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's gonna end up with more daughters than Data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Will Riker, right? You always thought Will was the one spreading it around all over the place, and at the end, just Picard.
spreading it around.
Picard is boldly going, yo.
They're gonna bring Tom Hardy back.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
So that's the new one, Tom Hardy. That's what I'm picturing. I don't know if I like that or not, though.
So here's
Maybe
a question: with that rumor of Picard's son showing up in season 3 of Picard, I mean, if I can't remember his name right now, but Tom Hardy, what was his character? Nemesis. Shinzon. Okay.
Yeah, Shinzon.
So if Shinzon fathered a child, I mean, that's Picard's son genetically.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be his his nephew's son.
Well, what if she was, what if he was half Romulan?
There you go. Interesting.
He loves Romulans right now, though, so I think.
And they're going to reveal Sela as her mom.
Oh boy. Shinzon and Sela. Interesting.
Do you think we'll get a throwaway line that says Shinzon's dead?
No.
Just to tie it off?
I don't know. I mean, we all know he's dead.
Yeah.
You know? And here's the other thing. I mean, if the Romulans had Picard's DNA and they created a clone, to assume that there was only ever one is just kind of silly.
Not to mention that they didn't have more DNA to make more whenever they wanted to. After the failed experiment of Shinzon, they could have just made another one, and for whatever reason,
maybe Shinzon can find a Lazarus pit.
Yeah, I don't know. So who was spreading it around more, Shinzon or Riker? Who do you think spreads it around more, Riker or Ransom? That's my question.
Ransom.
Oh, no. Riker, Ransom, or Tom Paris?
It's gonna be Ransom, because Ransom doesn't have any standards of where he spreads it around to. I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah, there was that summer that he went to Packlet spring break. He just didn't care.
Well, what was he's always going to the replicator for? To rebuild in his quarters? What was that joke 2 episodes ago? Cheerios. He's using Cheerios to build some sort of something in his room.
Yeah.
So all right. So here's a question: have we ever seen a female Packlet?
That's a good question. Yeah. The
we
queen.
have?
The queen.
No, not lower. I'm talking like live action.
Oh no,
live action.
No,
not cartoons.
No, not in live action.
But we did see a cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's a missed opportunity. If they would have shown us that female Packlets are the smartest and most beautiful women in the galaxy.
Yes.
But all the dudes are just ugly buffoons.
But there's not very many of them because they mostly make men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're a rare commodity, and they're treated like queens, and yada yada. I could see an entire plot line there that fits right in with today's.
I feel like Neelix would have hooked up with a female Packlet if that was the case.
Instantly.
Yeah.
I feel like Neelix spread it around more than Riker and Ransom combined.
Oh yeah.
Again, under
questionable circumstances.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he was with a child. I mean, she's a kid.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, okay. Anything else, Taryn, before we move on? Because we're just going right down a rabbit hole we are not going to be able to dig out of.
No.
Just one last thing I'll leave you guys, and you guys reminded me of it, is, Badgie took the post-credit scene, but I think my favorite part of the ending was T'Lyn finally joining the Lower Decks crew.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
T'Lyn. What did I miss? Oh, yes.
Vulcan Lower Deck?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
We did get to see a version of all of them. For a split second, we got to see a version of all of them on some other California-class bridge where Boimler had his bug eyes and needle nose. He was a mosquito-looking thing. Did you guys catch that? What is that?
That was a quick finish.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny when they were just, going down the line, naming all these cities in California as these ships are.
It's the Burbank. It's the
Yeah.
San Padre. It's
I
the
was waiting for my town, man, Santa Ana.
yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore. It fell off after the quake of
Yeah.
2172 or whatever.
Really obscure. They needed like the Culver City ship, or
I think they mentioned Culver City was one of
I
them. Yeah.
think they did mention Culver City. Yeah, they
Inglewood?
mentioned a lot. Really famous.
Inglewood. Yeah,
Yeah.
Inglewood.
Yeah.
Inglewood. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All
So,
right.
All right.
Good show,
Thanks, Taryn.
guys. Thanks, and hailing from California in the Cerritos. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Did I tell you guys I went to
Representing.
Cerritos 3 weeks ago when I was in LA? I drove into
No.
Cerritos
Oh,
proper and was there for like an hour and a half
you
at a
didn't-
customer's. Yep.
Hey, you didn't hit me up?
I didn't. I'm sorry. No, I didn't. I apologize, man. Next time I get out to LA, I will.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I'll let everybody in the chat know. But no, it is my prime stomping area. Well, the entire United States is now my prime stomping area. So who knows where the hell I'm going next? I go to Atlanta next. But anyway, so
What did they say in Lord of the Rings? The Chad goes wherever he pleases.
Chad goes
Exactly
wherever
what
he
time he means
pleases. Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Next time I get out there, I'll hit you up, Terry. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Gonna mute you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
That button too fast.
Just
Sorry.
like that.
Oops.
Chad's like, I have spoken.
I have spoken. This is the way. Are there any cool catchphrases like that in Andor? I'm really looking forward to those, but probably not.
No, it's too cerebral for catchphrases.
Okay.
It's like political stuff, right?
It's very political and spy thriller.
Yeah, so they're
But not
like
political.
Point of order.
But not political
Point
as
of
in
order.
U.S. politics, right? Please don't tell me yet.
A lot of smugness. A lot of
shit.
smugness in Andor.
Well,
especially in the Empire.
Well, that's the Empire, though, right? So
yeah,
it's serious, not funny. Well, that's I'll take a serious
I'll have to
turn on
watch
it.
it.
That's because She-Hulk
to
looks
watch.
completely stupid, silly. So, but anyway, back to a more pressing and more important thing before we get too far down the ending and the wind down of the show. It is apparently maybe not today, but maybe it was yesterday or it's tomorrow. I know Halloween's tomorrow, but it's Danielson's birthday. Is it today? Is it today? Happy birthday, friend!
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
We're in the middle of it right now.
Awesome! Congratulations for making it around the sun one more time.
Yes.
So, what is our voicemail number? If anybody wants to call in and wish him a happy birthday, perhaps sing.
Everybody should call in. Yes, everybody should call in 816-287-0448. Sing happy birthday to Daniel. I know it would make his heart swell. Yep.
Yes.
Call in, sing it in Spanish, sing it in French, sing it in German.
Sing it in Packlet.
Sing it in Pack. Oh, we got to get a Packlet happy birthday. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh, God. A Packlet birthday wish sounds amazing.
Yep. All of the birthday wishes to you, my friend. So
all of them. Yes.
I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah, it'll be nice. So.
And I wish I would have known sooner.
Awesome. Yeah.
Than right here on the show as it happened. Oh, well.
It's fine.
Someone probably said something to you on Facebook, and I missed it. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that's basically it.
All right.
Nothing else we need to cover?
Are we going to be back next week? We don't have anything to review.
No, but we could do a regular old show. And I don't know.
Let's do it.
Let's take a week off.
Let's take a week off. Okay, let's take a week off. Then we'll come back the week after next with a regular old show where we'll have some sort of theme or topic that will not be review related. We need to make sure that whenever we do these spacings, we put it around Thanksgiving weekend. I will not be able to do a show this Thanksgiving weekend.
Sure.
And I don't know about Christmas yet, but I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not we're going to be traveling over the Thanksgiving or Christmas weekend or Christmas time frame as well. New Year's probably.
I would like to record some evergreen shows, and that way we could release them.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Could do that.
Well, let's give ourselves 2 weeks to work on those ideas, and froth out what we're going to do next, and that'd be good.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds
cool.
Good.
Well,
maybe we do a couple of back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. We have an outro, don't we? Here we go.
Well, there you have it. Another episode in the can. Check us out at trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.